I don't know if this will be a proper session as much as I need to debug something and try to fix the input. Why it doesn't work every song. If I play song after song after song, it stops after the first song. And I need to test a new pedal I got, Noise Suppressor NS2. So I'm not going to share my screen at the moment because I have the code open and this is private source code. I just need to do some debugging to see why the score stops after the first song. Just trying to catch a bug at the moment more than play. I mean, sure, I could do both, play and then have the bug, but I was hoping it would be easier than that, right? I don't recall the error that I had yesterday. I didn't save it. I do have it on the video. Actually, I have it from yesterday's session, session 380. That's like a 2.5 hour long video. I don't know where it's at in that video. I just remember playing two different songs and the score, the note detection would stop on the second song. Pitch 0, current volume greater than the volume threshold. I streamed for 2.5 hours yesterday. And I'd have to go through the whole video to find the spot. Oh, I think I found it. Hour 59 minutes in. Maybe. Oh, right there. Okay, what does it say? Traceback 158. Line 283 callback. Handle frequency input. In data, time info status. Time sleep 0.1. Line 223. What? You're telling me the sleep paused while stream is active, time sleep 0.1. Why? Def callback, stream equals stream, while stream is active, time sleep. Why would the sleep error out? Line 223. Error exception then thread, -1 get frequency. If self get node log, node status equals idle. Key error 233. In thread get frequency. Is it related to when it's saving the JSON file? Maybe. And so in order to get there, I have an idea. There's a song that I did. It's only like 5 seconds long. Sustain test. That may be a good start. E-standard tests. Sustain test. Okay, let's do the sustain test. My mic wire doesn't get in the way. Okay, that's done. Will it work? I try again. Yes, it does. Bug, why can't I reproduce your bug when I try to reproduce a bug? Because I know it's not going to work if I try to do this now. Okay, just... I don't want to play, though, that's the thing. Because I'm not recording. Alright, maybe that's good enough. Let the song carry out. It might be in the note JSON saving if I had to guess. Let's look at that error again. About near the 2-hour mark, 155. Because I saw it errored at the sleep. It's a separate thread I got going on. And it might have errored when I saved the JSON file, the note log. So I save a JSON file of the notes when I hit or miss. Goes through it all. I'm going to test a noise suppressor for that P90 hum right here. Let's just do a quick test. Well, the bug may not be as simple as ABC123 to repro, but the good news is that the noise pedal is working pretty cool, pretty good. What I expected. The basic model, just got it today. Noise suppressor NS2 because I was contemplating getting a Apollo Twin quad, which is kind of redundant if I already have a Apollo Twin Duo. Just for a noise suppressor, not worth it, huh? Alright, if self note log note time status is idle, handle frequency input 1325. What did I put? I know yesterday I was able to repro this so easily. If note log note status equals idle. Oh, wait. I have an idea of what's going on just by looking at the code, the error log from yesterday. So when I play a string, play whatever guitar, my program detects the frequency and it tries to look for a note at the same time. Or, well, a note is assigned the frequency. I had to define them. What note is what frequency? What chord is what frequency? And I see an error. If self note log, note status, note time is idle. Note log, because, okay, maybe it's like in between the song. If note log, note time equals note get expected start time. It's actually active note. I have an idea. Well, I have several ideas. Not anywhere concrete, but I have theories of where this is occurring. Song visualizer sprites. Note single. Note frequency. Don't assign the frequency value to -1. Well, does -1 error? I don't remember. Because it might be the note at the very end. Because at the very end, I do something to determine when the song is over. But I have another idea to do. Like I should make a note that's called the last note, and then I call that note on destroy. I tell the song visualizer to end the song, because right now I'm checking every frame to end the song based on time, which is not good. Why am I checking every frame if it only occurs once at the end of the song? Regardless, I could come back to that. Let's do the sustain test again. This time just play whatever. Okay, that song didn't have it, but there's probably other ones that do. Hopefully it's not here. I just have a theory of where this is occurring. Not that song. There's one or several songs that have a note at the very end. Baptism by Fire? Can't be that one. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to play and encounter the bug in real time. Because that's the way to do it. Oh. Sorry, I didn't see your message in chat. I don't know if you're still there. Nice to see you. Hello. I am okay. I am having fun with this program. You can hear me? That's good. I hope so. If you're not aware, I make my own Guitar Hero type of program. Just in the middle debugging it, but let me share the screen. Source code's private, so I'm just going to hide the source code before I share. There's something that I'm trying to debug here, but I'm just going to have to reproduce it by playing. I appreciate you visiting. Nice to have a streamer, or have a viewer. I like to do these sessions. I've been recording guitar 2013, 10 years now. Getting it back into the video aspect of it. Beginner at guitar. Well, that's nice that you actually play. You don't actually give up on it. I know guitar can be intimidating, but I assure you, you play it more and more and more, you're always going to show progress. You're not even going to realize it. over time. Before you know it, you'll be able to do things you couldn't even think of. Um, I started playing guitar by Rocksmith. Well, Guitar Hero then Rocksmith. If you're familiar with Rocksmith, it's like you can play Rocksmith 20. There's two different Rocksmiths. I don't count the new one. Rocksmith Plus is junk. You gave up the first week and you retook it yesterday? Wow, you're really recent. Wow. Okay. There's a lot to take in, I'm sure. Well, for me, I played 12 years on a stupid guitar that can't hold a tune. And what I learned is, um, well, for what instrument do you have? I'm curious. Like my guitar, my beginner's guitar couldn't hold a tune. I couldn't play good chords because it couldn't hold intonation. If you know what intonation is, there's tuning and then there's intonation. And there's, um, oh, that's the thing, you will be shocked. Oh, why will I be shocked? I'm curious, actually. You don't deserve them? See, that's the thing, though. I recommend recording yourself. As silly as it may sound, when I what I do is I record myself, right? And I notice that when I play, I think to myself, while I'm playing, I think, oh, this sucks, I'm hitting the wrong note. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is hard. But like outside of that noise in my head, right? I listen to the recording and I go, oh, it's not so bad. Dean from Hell Guitar. It's a Dean shape, I think. Okay, I know Dean is like Dimebag Darrell, right? Thrasher, dude, like metal, right? Pantera or Panther A. Yeah, rock on, dude. I mean, just check it out on Google. Dean from Hell. Okay, I could check it out, but I'm not going to share the screen of Google right now. I'm just going to keep the screen as it is. Okay, I see Dean Dimebag from Hell. Hey, that's a beginner's guitar. It's over $900. What are you doing with a $900 guitar? Newbies are supposed to have $500 guitars. Okay, so it's back ordered. Not eligible for store pickup. Well, I'm looking at Guitar Center. That's pretty cool. I mean, you got your style. Oh wait, hold on. This guitar has a tremolo. Ooh, man. And that's tough. Tremolos make it more difficult to hold the tune. Your second one is Gibson Les Paul? What? How do you... Oh, you got a 50s Les Paul? So you got a baseball bat of a neck? Really thick neck, right? It takes up your whole hand. Really thick. Yeah. Hey, those baseball bat necks are pretty good. I have one in my Telecaster, and it's like it'll take anything you give it, right? It's just a little difficult sometimes because the distance between the strings, like up and down wise, was it? It's like there's more distance between the strings. Like I don't know how to describe it, but like on a shorter neck, or on a other neck, the strings are like closer together. You could put your cam on Discord if you want. We could do live together. I deleted my Discord, but for me, I record myself for SoundCloud and stuff. Uh, I read sheet music in my program. The neck is really short. I don't know what you mean go live together. That would be weird. That's unfortunate. Hey, I mean, I'm just glad to have company. I don't know how long you'll be here, but it's nice to have you. Oh, you're sorry? Okay. Oh, that's fine. For me, I speak better with my fingers than my mouth. You're French? I couldn't tell. All good. No problem. It's not necessarily the most exciting stream I got here, I'm sure. I don't typically have viewers. Whatever you want to talk about. I'm down. I'm down. Are you down? That's what people say, right? Uh, yeah, definitely. Hey, it's better than nothing. That's what they, yeah, I'd rather have nothing, or that, never mind. You're a kind guy. Yeah? Well, Mr. Kind Guy, I'm gonna be here for like an hour and a half to 2 hours on average. Typically, I go AFK to have some Mary Jane, if you catch my drift. But let's see. If you're I wonder, have you ever played different tunings? You wanted to try to play too, that's why you asked for Discord? Oh. Uh, how would you play? Like when you play, where do you get the notes from? Like for me, I use my program. It shows the notes, so I just read it. You only tried once drop D tuning, but it's hard. Well, drop D tuning is in some ways more simple than E standard because when you do drop D tuning, you're 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 able to do certain chords easier. You have an amp and mic catches perfectly. That's nice. I don't know. For me, I've been playing with headphones. Rock on, dude. I mean, I'm here to give you motivation. You got to keep playing. You play half step down also, so that's E flat tuning, right? E flat, okay. So drop D and E flat. You don't do E standard? You too cool for E standard? Oh, okay. So there's on my screen here, I have okay. There's E standard, E flat, drop D. Those are like the three popular ones, I guess you could say. Half step down is E flat. You don't even play? You should. Like when you play, it's just when you're playing, you think about the day. Oh, I should have done this. You need to take it out on your guitar, you know? You know power chords? Or you know what power chords are? Um, if you know, like, power chords are really simple, but like every song, almost every song uses them. Or double stops. For the moment, you know the main riff of Superstition by Stevie Wonder. Wow, yeah, and you play Superstition on your Dimebag guitar, huh? Or your Les Paul. Superstition by Stevie Wonder. Kind of tempted to look that up. Um, you know power chords and bar chords? Oh, dude, I gave up on bar chords years ago. If a chord has more than 3 strings, forget about it. That's my rule. I only need 2 or 3 strings. A chord, that's the minimum of a chord is 2 strings. But that's just me. Because I like to do multi-track guitar where I have like multiple arrangements at once. Power chords, bar chords, that's good. Bends, slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs, whatever else. Um, you want to learn the good way. I don't know if there is a good way. I mean, yeah, if you get a tutor, a teacher, they're gonna tell you how to play, but like, what resume does your tutor have, huh? Who are they to tell you? You really want to learn, well, what's stopping you? I recommend recording yourself and listening back, but then again, you have to know what to play. Just to tell me? Tell me, sure. It's one-way conversation of me reading your text. If if you don't mind typing so much, that's how I could tell you're a guitarist. Well, to be honest, my program, I wish it was to help tutor people. Right, this program right here, you could write anything you want to display the notation. Like what I do in my program, it reads my guitar, detects if I hit or missed a note, then I could adjust the tempo based on my own difficulty. Let's see if I get example. One example, Hideaway by Freddie King. You tried taking teachers, but the thing is you spend your time on the 5 courses just by looking at him playing my guitars, and that sucks. I understand. You need more hands-on. Huh. See, this program right here, it opens Guitar Profile. If you know Guitar Pro, it's where you read the tablature. This is the software. I'll do the update later. So let's open a song. E standard. Freddie King, Hideaway. You have a Guitar Rig 6, you're waiting to get your audio interface. Hey, Guitar Rig 6, I think, is that Ableton Lite? What audio interface are you getting? I got the Apollo Twin X Duo, and I just got a positive grid. So the sheet music's here. My program reads it. It's free. Okay. That means you could record yourself. So I go to the tempo screen. Actually, I go to my stats screen. It says I have 68% accuracy. I played this yesterday, November 6th. You'll just get to start. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. It sounds like an amp or plugin. So like, yeah, this is my note log, hit or miss. 2 minutes, 39 seconds by default. I go to the tempo, I could adjust the tempo. I go to dynamic, it reads the previous playthroughs I did. I hit apply, it goes for 4 minutes. Audio interface, okay. Well, you got everything you need, just play. But then you gotta know what to play. Can't just pick up your guitar and play free just off the top of your head. I don't think you'll get very far. Yeah, my software is written Python, Pygame. Programming it for 2 years. The only thing that bothers me in the video, if I hit the start button, you're gonna see the notes move kind of choppy and slowly, or like, it's kind of like, kind of moves jittery. You do not, wait, that's your problem, you do not know what to play at all. Everything sounds hard. Well, what I do is, my goal is to hit 100% of the notes. And what I do is I just slow the tempo down, right? So one example of that is the song Blue Sky, or any other song really. I just slow the tempo down really slow, so that way I hit every note. Everything is hard. I mean, you're not wrong, but you just got to keep at it. You listen to your own recordings and be your own critic. Listen to yourself where you need to. I never tried metronome music, or I never tried metronome either. I don't get how people could do metronome, right? Knowing how long to play between notes, like quarter note, half note, eighth note, whole note. Like, how do you do that just off the top of your head listening to a metronome? I don't know. How do people do that? I just read the music like a video game. My guitar is not an instrument, it's a video game controller. I just changed the way I think of it. It's perturbing you? Then then do something about it, dude. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but there has to be a point where like you reach where playing guitar, like if you spend your time looking at all this gear and buying guitars, buying amps, or getting this audio interface, and you don't spend your time actually playing, like that's what you're missing. But yeah, I get it. What are you gonna play? Okay, that's a tough one. I wish I could help. For me, I can't stop. I get withdrawal. And anytime I start playing again, everything just makes sense. It's a stress reliever. You could tell your guitar anything you want, it'll listen. Just anything. Things you could tell your guitar things that people will judge you on, and your guitar won't judge you. You don't really got your arse to play. It's hard. Well, what about it is hard? Is it your muscle memory? You're putting your fingers on the strings, getting your finger to the correct string you want? Is it knowing the fretboard? Is it like for me, I got my muscle memory down. I know where the frets are for the most part. You just set up your Dean with the Floyd Rose, and I'm going to play it now. It's the speed. That's understandable. Dang. You're going to play it right now? Okay. Well, you're welcome on this stream anytime. I could chat or whatever. You will stay. I hate to break it to you, but I need to go AFK for 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Start up. I'm gonna vape some marijuana. I'm gonna heat it up. I understand if you're not gonna stay, but I'm gonna be here for like an hour and a half, hour, 2 hours, whatever. Cool. No, I appreciate it. I'm used to not having anyone here. We'll get you started on your guitar. I don't know how I can help, but some way. Be right back. Yeah, no problem. It's nice to know another guitarist. You know what you gotta do? You just gotta walk in a guitar center and blast the amp and just say, people are gonna hear me. And that's their problem, not mine. Well, not really, I don't even do that, but you know, it's a funny thought. Get kicked out? That's funny. You know, I played at my job, they had like this after work party thing, and I played in front of them. It's pretty cool. I was self-conscious. I had the volume low. And they're like, why you got the volume low? Turn it up, man. And that was really cool to hear them say that. Uh, what should I play? Well, okay, I wanted to test the E standard. There's a bug I'm gonna hunt. When you get better at this, you'll buy a 100-watt amp. Dude, why do you need that? You got all the gear you need in front of you. Let's say you get that amp. What are you gonna do with it? You're not gonna play it because you got the mental state that says it's too hard. You gotta look forward to it. You gotta be able to play with the crappiest of gear. That's my opinion anyway. When you get 2 years in. Dang, you're thinking 2 years ahead of yourself. Man, I gotta keep repeating this. I really recommend recording yourself. Record that you're playing. Don't listen to your head that says this sucks, this is hard. Just play, record it, and then throughout the day, listen to your recordings, criticize yourself, think to yourself, that sounded good. Oh, I could improve here. Next time I'm going to do this. But that's up to you. It is a lot of work recording. I understand that. Yeah, I started playing in 2008. I started writing and recording in 2013. And then I made a rule. Every time I pick up the guitar, I have to record. So this is why on the up here I say session 380. 381. From 2013 to 2019, I only had 70 sessions. If I knew the history of just getting in the guitar, man, I just need to know to play better. Hmm. Well, to play better, for me, oh, I'm trying to think how to word this. You're telling me your story, sure? If you don't mind typing it out. So guitar is like a frequency emitter. As weird as that is to say. Brains intercept frequency. Doesn't make sense, but I could listen to guitar while I'm talking to somebody. You know, you could do multiple background tasks. Well, dude, if you want to talk guitar, you're welcome here. You first bought a Squier Fender just to get into music. It had a factory default, so you returned it. Then you got an Ibanez. Then you bought the Les Paul because of the quality and the history. Then you sold the Ibanez. Then you got the Dean. Then you liked the Dean. Wait, the Dean was already used, so it has natural relicking. And that's it. Then you cleaned it, and it's brand new. Just saved myself $2,500. Well, by the sounds of it, you got everything you need, other than your mental state to actually play it. I understand Les Paul is quality. At least, well, that's debatable now, isn't it? Gibson is just a brand like any other, and you could argue that they upsell their cost. Getting the motivation for playing, getting out of bed is motivation. The motivation you need is to be okay with sounding like crap. I mean, you need like, oh man, motivation. Motivation. I'm just trying to think if I'm in your shoes, just getting into it. Because you said you'd only played like a week or so, and something made you pick it up, or something made you get this far. Obviously, your love for music and guitar, obviously. Just take it a step further. How am I different than a guitar tutor where you're just watching videos, right? I don't know, I wish I could say more. You really wanted for a long time to play electric guitar. I wonder why. Like you listen to songs and you throw out the bass, you throw out the vocals, you throw out the drums and say, I want guitar. I mean, I get it. It's hard for me to speak. Something about it. You know what I did? Nope, it's hard when you're the only one speaking. Yeah, I know. If you're speaking to me right now, it'd be way different, I'm sure. I tried to be a guitar tutor once. I got a call back, but I was in college at the time. I mean, it's pretty fun talking about guitar music, talking with someone, even if you are just typing. Sorry, I don't have Discord. I'm up for whatever though. Talking, playing, talking and playing. I gotta debug this error at some point. Could talk about anything guitar. Don't even know where to begin. I just got into drop C tuning recently. It's like drop D, but even lower. All right. Do I think scales is the must learn for a beginner? Um, just trying to think how to answer that. Okay, here, let me show you something. I personally, I only know, I only know like one type of scale to an extent, right? I only know the blues scale as the fifth string, in some cases where it has the fifth string 3 frets in a row. But that's all I really know about scales. I wrote this program on the screen called Song Creator to help teach myself about scales, right? Let me go back. So what my program does, okay, so the way I never really learned scales, right? I just played songs over and over and over, and then I just mash and remix the songs based on how they sound. I don't do like traditional approaches to learning. I just get hands-on and teach myself, and I don't think there's any correct route of learning guitar other than satisfying yourself to whatever you want. I do think there is possibly what some people would say is, oh, what's it called? Like if you learn something wrong and you continue doing it wrong, then you have to relearn it the right way. There is an extent of that, but it's not that bad. For example, I've pretty much for the most part, for the longest time, I would never use my pinky. I would try to avoid using my pinky, right? It's the weakest finger. How am I going to use my pinky? So, but I noticed that, like, in cases where I have my first finger on a string, on a fret, and then I'm trying to go 2 frets over, I could use my third finger or my pinky. And I noticed that, like, if I don't use my pinky is just, like, awkward on the side. So now I just try to fluctuate, use my pinky when I could use my third. But you got to be careful. I know I'm off topic of scales, but this program I wrote is going through different scales. Like you pick a key, pick a scale, and then you hit the generate button. This program writes songs based on a key or scale, allowing me to choose a whole bunch of different settings. So this program, I teach myself scales by writing a song based on algorithm. But this is like some other stuff. But scales, yeah, pinky's tough. Try doing a hammer on pull off with the pinky. Forget about bends. But there's a song by Thin Lizzy where you have to like put your pinky and your third and then pull off with your pinky onto the third from the third to the first. Like I can't even get that. Um, oh yeah, scales. You know what? There's this band called Minus the Bear. They're like math rock. And when I listen to them, they're like, oh wow, this is so complex guitar. But when I saw them live, it's like, wow, he's just staying in the same range, right? He's just using his 4 fingers, right? He's just staying in the same range. I guess that's the whole point of the scale, right? You hit the different notes in the same range. Like I love the 9 to 12 fret range. And that's a scale. Another another scale I loosely know is in the 6 to 9, 4 to 7, 2 to 4, open. I try to learn just like what sounds good in those ranges. I don't necessarily know the scales of what the notes are in the fretboard. Uh, that's a good question though. Scales can be good just for getting your muscle memory. You know, just doing I don't even know if I'm playing as correct as a scale, but the essence of practicing a scale is just getting your fingers to hit the strings and the frets and the time that you're going to pluck. I mean, that's good practice regardless of what notes you're playing, just to get your timing with your fretting and your plucking, right? Because you got to use both of your hands, right? So in that essence, I think learning the concept of a scale is good, not necessarily learning the notes in a scale, because I couldn't tell you what note letter that is, or what key or scale, or all the notes in a scale. But the essence of the muscle memory practice of being able to hit the notes is good. I don't know how well you are with your muscle memory, with your fretting, your finger placement. Tuning. Okay. No, you're good. WTF, your guitar finally keeps the tuning. Okay, there's tuning and then there's intonation. You could tune it, but then you play your chord. If it doesn't sound in tune, it's intonation. No muscle memory. Wow. So if you say third string, 6th fret, wait, third string, 6th fret, or whatever, all these different transitions, you have to take time to process, to think of, wait, you're like, hold on, I got to think, where does it go? Right? Right? The fret inlays are great with that, right? I don't know, you should have fret inlays 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 17, 19, 21. And when you're playing down, you gotta just fill in the blank. Okay, I see a fret inlay 3, that means these to the left are 1 and 2. If you want to do it, you need to slide and feel how many frets. Oh, wait a second. You gotta feel how many frets you're passing? So you go, oh wait, 1 fret, 2 fret. You gotta do math in your head? No, 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 no. Just look down and just, if you close your, okay, closing your eyes, that's a bit of, that's interesting. You know what, I'm having fun even talking about this stuff. I don't usually talk about this stuff. Can't play with your eyes closed. Muscle memory is a point where you can play with eyes closed. You think that's too high standards? I mean, I know to an extent where I'm at, but every now and then it's inevitable to look down. But what bothers me personally was when I see people playing guitar and they're not, like, I look where they're looking and it's like, what do you come up with this music out of your head or something? Like for me, I look at the notes. Anyways. Play with your eyes closed. Well, what I mean is like, I don't know, I'm just too picky. I don't wonder how they do it. I just think they suck. I think everyone sucks. I'm sorry. It's an envy thing. I'm better than you, Trash talk. Don't take that personally. Oh man. What else? What else is there to talk about with guitar? I'm just trying to imagine being in your shoes. It will sound fake, but I don't care being better or badder than someone. Like, I just want to get into it. Well, you need time. You're gonna have to go through periods where you suck, and you're just gonna have to get through it. You're gonna have to figure out how do you improve, and you need to figure that out. You need to you need to be okay with being bad. You need to just get in there. Like, as far as what to play though, I don't know how to help you with that. Like, let's say you want to play Superstition. I don't know if how you're gonna go about that. Like, for me, I have to use my program to show the notes visually, and I see the notes. That's how I prefer it. I understand that approach is not quite available. Like, there's tablature books, and that is boring to look at a chord on the thing on the paper and try to make music out of it. I I I don't know how to do that, but I do know I had to struggle for a long time. But even though struggling, there is for me is sticking to what you're good at and avoiding what you're bad at. That's what I did. Bar chords, I forget bar chords. Why would you want to do 6 strings and do this most complicated garbage? But that's just me. I I understand why people want bar chords because they want all 6 strings, and it's just not for me. It depends what you want. If you just want to get into it, find power chord songs that are really just riff based, riff oriented. What is it? Boston and Peace of Mind is riff oriented. Um, or what I did is play the vocal arrangement on the guitar. Let's say you know a song, you know the song's lyrics, but let's say the guitar for that song is hard. Well, play the vocals on the guitar because you already know the vocals. Or play a song that has a bunch of riffs that, um, like Weezer in the Garage is a good example. E flat tuning. Like I just have a handful of songs. I didn't bother getting too many here, but I gotta get more. Some of them I have are like simple and some are more hard. It really depends. All right, I'm um gonna be right back for a couple of minutes. Gonna go vape off camera. I'll come back, and if you're still here, that'd be great. Yes, marijuana. Southern California has recreational marijuana. I got indica, I think it's indica. I don't remember what strain, they didn't label it. Usually like to get indica sativa and split it through the day and night, but it helps playing. That's all I gotta say. Have some weed and your playing goes crazy. No, man, I'm having fun talking, even though you. Sorry that you're only able to type right now, but it's fun talking about this stuff, this topic, guitar, getting into it. Any questions or whatever? I've been playing, yeah, since 2008, and I love it. Not a day goes by that I don't have the pick in my hand. All right, I'll be right back. Oh, I really like these sharp picks myself. Like, it's not a soft one, right? It's a sharp. I really like it. It helps me play better, in my opinion. Be right back. Yeah, I was doing something off camera. Sure, feel free. I gotta pick up where I left off yesterday. I was playing the Rover, and there's a tricky riff. Well, it's tricky in that the slide, it says slide 7 to 15, or whatever it is. But you can't slide with the first finger because you go 714 or 514. If you slide with the first finger, that puts you in the wrong position. One thing I really recommend is getting used to the four-finger fret position. Have your four fingers fret spaced apart by one fret. A majority of songs have that. But sliding from 5 to 14, yeah, do it with the third finger, so that way your first finger is in the 12. Alright, sounds good. I'll look after I play guitar. I'm gonna play, so I gotta switch headphones. Doesn't sound like a flute, does it? A flute, like really high pitched. It was on the very first pickup, or the whatever. Using the noise gate, which is with the overdrive and the tweed and the reverb. Sorry, neck pickup. I think the pickup has 5 selections and it's turned all the way to this one. And usually with the P90, it's very noisy. Well, I don't have the right headphones, but you could hear a buzz in the noise pickup. Because the P90, if it's up to the, yeah, if it's up then the neck. Yeah, it's the neck pickup. Or even the bridge pickup, both of them. If you have either pickup by itself, it's going to have that hum. So that's one thing I was just looking at in this guitar today, just getting rid of that hum and the background noise. Well, that's the thing though. Okay, in your guitars that you have, what separates them from one another, right? Your Les Paul has a humbucker, I'm guessing, maybe, and your Dean has a humbucker. I wanted something different than humbucker. I know it has that annoying sound to it, only in the bridge or neck by itself, but if I have both, if I had the pickup in the center, then it cancels that noise by default. But that's what I had to do in the last time. I put in the center. That's what I want to try this time in this session. Try getting rid of that noise. Noise on, noise off. It can be annoying, but it could also be like a boundary zone of what to play, not to play. Like, you're never gonna have your guitar 100% in tune. Just play with what you got. But yeah, that was Interpol, the Rover. I'm gonna keep going though. That was just one. Okay, I mean like aside from the like the wood, like for the guitar, the type of wood, mahogany, regardless of that, I mean like as far as like Dean has a Floyd Rose Les Paul non-moving bridge. Okay, the reason why I said Floyd Rose was scary, or like that Dean guitar is scary, is because I have one Floyd Rose style guitar, basically a fixed bridge, and I have that stuck on E standard. And there's times that I want to switch it to E flat, but then I just think, oh, I don't want to adjust the bridge because the bridge has to be center. Yeah, it's horrible to tune them. I have a Charvel DK22 in Pharaoh's Gold, and I've just played that for the first time recently in a recording, and I noticed when I do the tremolo, I use it like a vibrato, unless having a drop D option, the Floyd. Well, okay, that confuses me. What you mean by that? By the drop? Oh, okay, because you have to alter the bridge, alter bridge, right, or whatever. You have to like make sure the bridge's float is even, right? That's why I don't change it from E standard to E flat. I don't feel like flipping the guitar over, unscrewing it, and then adjusting that little spring Uh, I don't feel like doing that. But once it is set, right? I don't mean to speak bad. Like it does things. Tremolos do things fixed bridges can't do, or just by having a floating point bridge, you could you could use the whammy, use the tremolo. I don't know if you dive bomb, but I use it like a vibrato. Like I think I use it a bit too much. It's hard to use the tremolo subtly. Wait, what? What the heck is F sharp? I don't think I've ever heard of F sharp. No, I'm curious. I've just gotten into drop C very recently for band Killswitch Engage and Love Hate Hero. But primarily, the Love Hate Hero guitarist, he produced the recent Blink 182 album. He moved up. You should look at this short. Oh, I'll get there. I was hoping to play. Missing to practice some difficult arrangements. Oh, sorry, I'm not gonna look right now. I'm just gonna play. I do have a YouTube myself, Twitch and YouTube. Well, I'll catch up in a second. I just gotta play something. Oh, if there's one more thing, I recommend to know the difference between sustains and staccatos and mix them up. Do a sustain once, do a staccato next. Just how you play it. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, sustain, staccato, ghost note. So palm mutes, sustain staccatos, um, ghost notes, let rings. Just how you control the note length without plucking after fretting. Sustain, staccato. See ya. That's 80%. Not bad. That one, it seems like the songs I wrote for this album have each alt lead arrangement being the most difficult arrangement compared to the lead and rhythm. 3 tracks per song. And this one's um, I should have a better answer. The mood, it's very minor. Alright, next one. I go to Streetlight. Try the alt lead. good news. I finally got the error. I was trying to repo error, and I finally was able to. Error when my guitar input gets bugged out and becomes non-functional. This is Streetlight, Alt Lead. Okay, so I gotta get the details of this bug. 1 second. What the heck? Exception in thread, gate frequency, key error 231. That's a bit more vague than last time. Strange. Game design, game dev 101, game design, whatever you call it. On Mac, it's so hard to just take a basic screenshot. Alright, I'm just thinking. I'm trying to get this bug because it stops the guitar input from functioning until I reset, which is never a good case. Get frequency, key error 31, get frequency. So strange. Alright, back to the alt leads. Oh man. Alright. So I'm gonna have to make a variation of this one, a profile of this one that has tempo other than, you see how the tempo is measure 200 whatever is 30 something BPM, 33 BPM. That's the lowest I placed it. Alright, well, let's see, how long has this session been? 2 hours. Alright, let's keep that at that. Maybe. Yeah, alright, let's keep it. See you later.